During the construction of the world's deepest diving pool in Dubai, when a 45-meter tunnel had already been dug into the ground, an unexpected problem stopped the engineering team. They found out that in Poland, near Warsaw, a new diving pool called Deep Spot had just opened, and its depth was also 45 meters. Naturally, if Dubai wanted the world record for the deepest pool, its depth had to be increased from 45 meters to 60 meters. But this task, even though it sounded simple, was extremely challenging. Experts calculated that if the pool were deep into 60 meters, the pressure from the groundwater could easily push it upward. It's the same as when you push a filled water bottle into a swimming pool. It floats back up due to buoyancy. Similarly, the entire pool structure could rise out of the ground at any moment. At this stage of construction, the dream of building Dubai's deepest pool seemed to be falling apart. But then one idea changed everything. Welcome back to another video by Think and Grow with Hamdan. When people think about world records, Dubai is often the first place that comes to mind. With more than 425 Guinness World Records, Dubai continues to hold the top position in the Middle East. It appears the leaders of Dubai are determined not to let go of that title. One more achievement was added to this list on the request of Dubai's Crown Prince, Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the creation of Deep Dive Dubai. Deep Dive Dubai is far more than just a swimming pool. It's an entire underwater realm filled with mysteries, with a depth of 60 meters, 197 feet. It holds the title of the deepest diving pool on Earth, containing 14 million liters of water. That is equivalent to 6 Olympic-sized pools, or the amount of water consumed by 90,000 people in a single day. The pool is designed like a sunken city, offering divers an experience unlike anything ever imagined. To maintain water purity, engineers developed a special filtration system with assistance from NASA that cleans all 14 million liters every 6 hours. Regardless of whether the temperature outside is 20 degrees Celsius or soaring at 50 degrees Celsius, the pool's water remains a steady 30 degrees Celsius for divers' comfort. But our focus here is not just the pool's features. It has the extraordinary engineering behind it. Many experts believe that constructing Deep Dive Dubai required innovative thinking and remarkable Let's explore the challenges the team faced. Challenge 1. Planning and concept. The Crown Prince wanted a design that showcased Dubai's cultural heritage. Long before tourism and oil, Dubai's economy relied heavily on pearl diving. Divers would plunge into the sea without modern equipment, gather shells, and sell the pearls inside. This industry once shaped Dubai's financial foundation. Inspired by this legacy, the designers created Deep Dive Dubai in the form of a massive seashell, resembling an open oyster resting by the shore. But this was only the exterior. The real challenge lay in constructing the world's deepest pool inside the structure. Architects and engineers from several countries were invited to share feasible ideas. One simple suggestion was to build a 45-meter tall tower above ground and fill it with water. However, this plan had two major issues. A world record cannot be recognized if the pool is built above ground. It must go below the surface level. Dubai's intense heat would affect the water temperature inside an above-ground structure. Thus, it was decided that the pool had to be dug underground, using a deep vertical shaft. This decision led to the next major challenge: excavation. Challenge 2. Excavation and diaphragm. Wall engineers needed to dig a shaft 65 feet in diameter and 147 feet deep, and construct a protective wall around it to prevent collapse. This wall is known as a diaphragm wall. A specialized excavator was brought in to dig narrow sections one at a time. Steel cages were lowered into each trench, and concrete was poured in to form the wall. After repeating this step for every segment, the entire diaphragm wall was completed, a process that took over 2 months. Excavation then began, removing 5 meters of soil at a time until reaching 45 meters. The depth of the wall. But after just 5 to 8 meters, groundwater started entering the shaft. Because the wall was built in separate segments, small gaps allowed groundwater to leak in and pool at the bottom. Industrial pumps were installed to continuously remove the water, allowing excavation to continue. This work went on for nearly 2 years, during which 45,000 tons of earth, sand, and rock were removed. Once excavation finished, The pumps were shut down and groundwater immediately began to fill the shaft again. This made it necessary to completely waterproof the diaphragm wall, a task that took several months. In total, digging the shaft, controlling groundwater, and waterproofing it all required more than 3 years, pushing the project far behind schedule. Challenge 3. Extending the depth to 60 meters just as the structure was nearly completed. News arrived that Poland had opened its deep spot pool with a depth of 45 meters. This was a major blow to the team, as the entire project aimed to break that very record. The Crown Prince then instructed the engineers to increase the pool's depth to 60 meters. But this introduced a serious issue. Groundwater began only 8 meters below the surface and continued downward, meaning the deeper they dug, the stronger the upward buoyancy force became. Earlier calculations for counteracting buoyancy using the pool's own water were based on a depth of 45 meters. Adding an oath there 15 meters meant the force could become strong enough to lift the entire structure. Even the diaphragm wall. Construction came to a standstill after thorough analysis. The engineers came up with a solution. The additional 15-meter section would be excavated with a smaller diameter, reducing the area exposed to buoyancy. A method called an underreamed base would be installed, a form of underground anchor that locks the structure into the surrounding earth, similar to how an anchor keeps a ship from drifting. With these changes, the depth was successfully increased to 60 meters, qualifying the project once again for a world record. Challenge 4. Filling the pool leaving a 60-meter deep empty shaft was dangerous, as buoyancy could push it upward at any moment. The pool had to be filled with 14 million liters of water as soon as possible. However, Dubai's water authority could supply water only at a controlled rate, enough to fill the pool in about 3 months. To speed up the process, the team brought in over 100 water tankers, in addition to the standard supply. Even with this, it still took 1 month to fill the pool completely. Before filling, the sunken city design inside the pool was completed. After the water was added, new problems appeared. Some materials began to corrode, and a few decorative objects started floating. Holes were drilled into them to add extra weight and keep them in place. After all these finishing touches, Deep Dive Dubai welcomed special guests in 2021 and finally opened to the general public in 2022. The total cost of the project has never been revealed. The Dubai government considers it a priceless achievement. What are your thoughts on this engineering marvel? Share your opinions in the comments. Thanks for watching another video from Think and Grow with Hamdan Danti. Forget to like and share. See you again in the next exciting video.